Hello, Giselle Cooper here with the Exceptional Pleasure Bootcamp. This is Module 1. Now in this module we will talk about your inner beliefs and we'll cover your inner critic, core beliefs, negative beliefs and also negative thinking. Plus you'll learn the tools you need to change your thinking and your behaviour. This module really requires complete immersion and dedication from you because you will go right into the deep nitty-gritty of who you are, and if you haven't looked much at your innermost deepest thoughts, you very well may struggle. However, I do recommend you complete the handouts in full, which will give you a map of your inner thoughts. We'll learn to flip your negative thoughts around to become positive, and we'll also map out where you are right now in your thoughts and feelings and create a vision board to help manifest your desires. Now first we will begin with the Journey Beginnings map, so you can go ahead and download it now if you like and work through it with me. You'll map out your present thoughts and feelings about yourself and your immediate environment, giving you clarity of where you're at and where you'd like to be. Now this will serve as a guideline to measure your progression. I really encourage you to refer to this regularly and at any time, particularly if you feel upset or if you believe your life is not changing at all. Now I just ask, please, if you do answer these, do them with honesty. These are for your own benefit. No one else has to see them, so it actually doesn't matter what you write down, but if you really want to do this work, it's so important to fill them out in full and be honest. But you're welcome to bring them along when you join me on this week's call, and we can talk about any realizations you've had whilst doing this work. Now when doing the worksheet, you'll be asking yourself some pretty big questions, and they'll be based around how you see your life today. In the future, you'll be able to look back at it and you might be surprised when you look at it at the end of the bootcamp and see how much things have been changing for you. Now, I want that for you. And you want to keep this somewhere safe, and you can refer to it at any time or even regularly if you choose, and it's a good gauge of your progression, like I was just saying. I have added a little bonus to this module at the end, if you have a look, and it's one of my favourite techniques. It's the Stomp Your Inner Critic technique, and you can stop it right in its tracks, and it's simple, quick and effective. Now I want you to know that we all have an inner critic, and it's okay to share and talk about it. Now if you want to know what your inner critic is, it's that, or if you don't know what it is, it's that little, or sometimes loud voice which is inside your head, and it keeps putting you down. It is, and also I want you to know it's nothing to be ashamed about, because we all have one. And I need you to know that there is good news with this. It is now understood that our inner critic is that little voice is actually there to keep us safe from harm. Now, for example, once upon a time we were running around in the woods, maybe doing some hunting or maybe just collecting some mushrooms, and we made a mistake, and that lion started chasing us. We went somewhere where we shouldn't, and so that inner critic pipes up to stop you from being in harm. Another example, probably a bit more close to reality, is when you were little, you may have made a choice that resulted with you being told off, and this affected you badly. So now as an adult, whenever you need to make a choice or decision, you hesitate because your inner critic pipes up and says, "Hey you, are you sure that's the right decision? You're not good at making decisions. Isn't it best that you just don't have an opinion?" So that sounds bad, but of course, like we learned with the thing in the forest, is that it's actually trying to protect us from harm, and it's warning you so you don't make that mistake again. And it's because of like that one time when you were very small and you made a choice and it caused you major internal pain. And from this you can see your inner critic is not a complete negative, because it's trying to protect you. So I'm emphasizing this because I really want you to fully understand that your inner voice is on your side. It's working for you, and you need to retrain it and get it under control. Now, I do have to assume here, and I know I shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume that because you're doing this course, now you have experienced abuse and have suffered a fair bit of trauma, or are suffering from a fair bit of trauma. Now you likely have a very loud inner critic, just like I do actually. And so changing your negative self-talk and reframing this to something a little bit more kind will actually help you form a new blueprint of the way you think about yourself. So let's get into it. So the first step is to become aware of when your inner critic talks to you. And if you don't like what it says, then just say out loud, "Stop." Now, vocalizing this is great, but sometimes you need to do it in your head, especially if you're in public. Now, this awareness will give you clarity on just how bad your negative self-talk really is. And then just acknowledge the voice. So, I say to it, "Thank you. I know you're worried about me, and I feel unsafe, and you feel unsafe, but I'm not a little girl anymore, and you are causing me unnecessary pain. Could you let my inner compassionate self say a few words now?" And then you rephrase the voice. So personally what I do is I imagine my good friend Rose speaking to me, or you can just speak it from you to you. Now she says, "It's okay, darling." She's Australian. "I love you. And even though you made a mistake, it's okay. You can easily change this." Next step is I then offer yourself a positive correction. So you could say anything like, "Giselle, I am a strong, confident woman and I can do anything. I am a strong, confident woman and I can do anything I put my mind to." Now this becomes much easier and quicker with practice, and sometimes all you need to do is say "stop" for it to be effective. Now, so I actually use this all the time, and my inner critic sneaks in quite regularly, but I do keep with it and use it often, because it's just so important to stop that negative inner dialogue and just reframe it, because when you change what is inside you, your outer world, when you change what's inside you, your outer world changes too. Now I have prepared a download with bullet points for this to help you remember this one. And next we'll talk about core beliefs. So these can be defined as the very essence of how you see yourself and the world and your future. And this determines how you interpret your daily interactions. Now, our inner critic, our core beliefs, and our negative self-talk, they all work hand in hand. So the same way as I just taught you to stop your inner critic, there's some steps to recognizing and eliminating your core beliefs as well. They're all very similar, but what we do is we identify, analyze, create new beliefs, and then rewire the thinking. So most of us carry our negative or false unconscious or semi-conscious beliefs. We never stop to recognize the values and norms that we apply on a daily basis because of these beliefs. Okay, so the goal here is to recognize what a profound impact your core beliefs actually have on your own experiences and your feelings and your behaviors and their associated outcomes. I'll give an example of how core beliefs can be positively and negatively impact your interpretation of like a social interaction. Okay, so this scenario is Jessie is getting ready for the day and she has to choose between 3 shirts to wear to work. Now, she has a red shirt, a pink shirt, sorry, a yellow shirt, and a blue shirt. Now, each represents a different core belief. So Jessie has a performance review coming up and she is deciding whether or not she deserves the promotion which she wants. Okay, so she puts on her pink shirt, sorry. I am deserving. That means her internal thought is, I'm a hard worker with a strong work ethic and I deserve this promotion. So Jessie feels very confident as she enters the performance review and subsequently she gets the promotion. Next, or she could choose the blue shirt. Sorry, yellow shirt. Actually, it doesn't matter what colour. Anyway, let's do the yellow shirt. Now, for this, Jessie's core belief with this is, I'm not sure I'm deserving. Now, her internal thought with this is, I work hard, but someone else will probably get the promotion over me. The reaction, Jessie doesn't feel great heading into the performance review, and so she gets a good review, but she does not get the promotion. Okay, so next we do have the blue shirt. Jessie puts on the blue shirt today. And the blue shirt, you know, with this one, her core belief is, I'm not deserving. She's had a bit of a tough day, a tough week. I'm not deserving. Her internal thought with this is, there's no way I'm going to get a promotion. My co-workers are smarter than me. The reaction, Jessie doesn't get the promotion. So from that little example, whichever colour it was, you can see that our core beliefs have a direct influence actually on our external world and our environment. So what we think matters. It's not just inside us. You know, those negative thoughts, they get projected into the real world. So next, let's identify our core beliefs. Okay, now to help you with this, I want you to listen to your inner dialogue. This is your inner critic and your self-talk. Now I want you to listen to the views you hold about yourself, but also about others. At this point, you may want to download the worksheet on core beliefs and work along with me. So thinking through some of these questions on the worksheet, you'll begin to recognise some of your deep-seated core beliefs, and I encourage you to write your thoughts down as you identify these, okay? Are the words you use about yourself and others largely negative or positive? Do you celebrate your victories or focus on your failures? How about, do you look truthfully at what you're doing in your own life and what others are doing? So next we'll analyse them. So now we will ask yourself, now I want you to ask yourself if they're accurate, okay? If you're finding negative core beliefs which are holding you back, consider where they've come from. So are you hearing the voice of a parent from childhood? Or maybe you're hearing echoes of a partner who pulled you down and undermined your self-esteem. So upon thinking through these questions, you may begin to recognise some of your inner deep-seated core beliefs. So what are they? I just want you to know that, and please remember, when you're doing this work and you're in a dark place and you are feeling quite down, just please remember that core beliefs can be wrong and we are here to change them. They can be wrong. Negative and often inaccurate core beliefs will drastically reduce your chances of great relationships and also confidence, pleasure and love. They all go hand in hand. Questions like the ones which I've just mentioned help you recognise some of those real deep beliefs, which they actually form the foundation of your life and they underpin how you live it. So because they actually directly affect how fulfilled your life will be. So it's really worth making sure your core beliefs are a true representation of yourself. Now, in finding the origins of your core beliefs, you can really, really help change them, okay? And if you're really struggling, please, if you're struggling with any of this process, please let me know. I am here to help, because sometimes it's really not easy realising or admitting some of your core beliefs, and this can make identifying and analysing them really quite difficult. However, I encourage you to keep going with this and to really root out your negative and inaccurate thought patterns, okay? And next the next step is actually to rewire your core beliefs, and we'll create new belief structures as well. So go back, look at your notes, and for each negative belief, how about you write out a positive one? For example, for the question, do you think you are confident, pretty, clever, or ugly? Now, you might have put, I think I'm shy. How about you rephrase it and write out something positive? So, I now choose to believe I am confident. Or, I think I'm ugly. How about you change it to, I now choose to believe I am beautiful on the inside and the out. Now this will cancel out the beliefs and we'll start creating new pathways, okay? So another thing I want you to do is then write down counteracting affirmations on a separate note, and maybe pop them on a post-it note, pop them where you can see them, then and somewhere where you're likely to be thinking some of those negative thoughts. For example, your mirror. Now I actually have some which sit around my my office desk, like this one. It is from Mary Kay. Don't wear a makeup, but someone gave me this and I've kept it. It's success is never an accident, it's always deliberate. So that's just a gentle reminder whenever I see it to keep pushing forward, because I'm here to help people. I'm here to make money as well, who isn't, but I really am here to help people and make a difference in the world. Anyway, what I really want you to do to really make the magic happen, when you catch yourself thinking those thoughts, those negative thoughts, I want you to replace them with positive ones, with the positive ones which you've just written down. If you haven't already, go through, do this work, the core beliefs worksheet, and that will help you explore and define your beliefs, your deeply held beliefs, more of them, because I'm sure there's quite a few. Now, these are beliefs that guide your thoughts and behaviour every day, and you'll have some realizations of your own.